Welcome to Local Heroes, the podcast by the London Optimist, where we celebrate the people making a real difference in our city. From community leaders to charity champions, these are the stories of those shaping a better London. Join me, Daniel Tyson, as we shine a light on the everyday heroes among us. Today, I'm speaking with Kate Kenyon, the founder of RBKares, a volunteer group in Kingston upon Thames. It's been nearly a year since I interviewed you last time on the occasion of the second birthday of RBKares. So how has your charity grown since then, and what have you been up to?
We've carried on with a lot of the same projects, but reaching a wider group of people. So we still do the monthly wellbeing days. And actually, I've just done some data, which I can send you, of how many people had liver scans where they found a problem and are now in treatment, or how many people's feet got treated, how many people got bikes, how many bike repair. So I've got that for the last year from January to January. Also, for the same project that I was doing, I started to work out the volunteer hours. So the volunteer hours for the wellbeing, that was, I think, 1,152. But when I took my sewers into account, so they make the last third of the year, we concentrate on warmer in winter bags. So that's a sewn bag with a knitted blanket, a knitted scarf, knitted hat, and bought gloves, socks, torch, hot water bottle, flask, and a gift, and a card from a school child, and some cup of soup and chocolate and things like that. At the moment, they're all crocheting little chicks that will put Easter eggs in for the hospital. And they'll do, I think it's Macmillan Cancer Nurse Day. So the NHS has a lot of celebratory days. I think nearly every day, actually. But it's coming up for the Macmillan one, and we'll make bags and fill them with nice toiletries and stress-reducing things. And we're also making bags at the moment for children in A&E who are having mental health crises. So they will make a bag, they'll make something to fidget with, and we'll buy other sort of slime or stress balls, very sour sweets, extra strong mints, and a lovely colouring book of Kingston. I don't know if you've seen that. So they do it there'll be one for Lewisham. So a company called Colour Your Streets. And so it takes like iconic landmarks and puts them into a colouring book. So they'll all have that, which hopefully will show them the beauty of where they live and refocus their attention. And that's quite a sad one, because you also have to have the handles of the bag have to be 23 centimetres, because if it's longer than that, they could put it round their neck. I can't give them colouring pencils because those could be used as a weapon, but a felt pen is okay. So things like that. So those sewing ladies, we had our meeting on Monday, and all together our volunteer hours, from baking for the hospital, from our refugee sewing workshop that you came to, from everything, is 19,636 hours of volunteering.
Wow.
For a tiny, we are tiny, we have no paid staff. So that's over 53 hours a day, and apparently equivalent to 12 and a half full-time staff. And what's lovely about the sewing ladies is a lot of them might be older and were a bit isolated, needed something to focus on. There's one who's in her 90s, who's deaf, and back in that day, if you had a disability like that, you were sort of sidelined. But she was very skilled, and now she does loads for us, and she feels she's got her purpose back. So it's not only what they're doing to give others, but what they get. It was a really good exercise having to work out hours and things like that. But in terms of new projects, so we did the CAMS one last time, That's the child and adolescent mental health service. So that's the children in A&E who need to be sort of de-escalated, grounded. So those bags are lovely. So we're doing even more for them this year. And like yesterday, I wrote to someone who had their a tech refurbishment company. I'd written saying, look, can we get 10 phones from you to give to our wellbeing clients? And it took quite a long time to get there, but then we got 10 refurbished phones. And at the wellbeing before last, the liver scan, someone went in there and he hadn't been before, and they found severe liver disease, but he didn't have an address. He hasn't got a mobile phone. So there was no way of that team bringing him in to the health system. So we got him the phone from Genuine Solutions. We got the SIM card from Superhighways. He got, underwear and warm stuff from us. And he's now in a system. That wouldn't have happened. And it was just so good to just see the complete package of being able to help someone. And we're also now, it's taken a long time to do because they're very protective of their clients, but we also support Refuge, which is the domestic violence charity. So we went round there last night to drop off, microwave heated clothes rail, kettle, toaster for someone who's leaving their accommodation. So they've got to the stage where they can now go somewhere. And we also give them starter kits. So because they need a bit of self-worth. So yes, we'll find secondhand things, but we got new sheets and towels and saucepans, frying pans, utensils, crockery, cutlery, all of that sort of thing. So that was, that's a really nice partnership that we've developed since we last saw. And then we're still doing the sewing with refugees, and that's just lovely. More than just the sewing with that is the friendships and the confidence and the integration. And we've just got a grant from Kingston Council. I don't know if you know that this year it's 1,100 years since King Athelstan was crowned, first King of England, and he was crowned here. And it was 1,100 years ago. So there's a big celebration. And a lot of it will be around our heritage. But we thought, well, we're now a city of sanctuary for the refugees, and they are part of our future more than our heritage. So going to do a creative project with them to incorporate their voice in all of that. So we're really looking forward to that.
That sounds amazing.
I think they'll love it.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing so much. It's always so inspiring to hear from you. I remember last time you said that the well-being days you organize every month is probably the biggest achievement you've done. Is that still the case?
I think if you look at the numbers, which I'll send you after this, we picked up some really good stuff. We are changing it though. So we're moving to a Friday, but we will also be supplying soup and tea and coffee. So we'll do all the clothes and the toiletries and the new underwear, and then we'll have all the health people that come now. Hopefully a big gazebo outside, a table and chairs, so that people can actually just sit down and talk, and maybe we'll get some volunteers who have enough free time to just sit and talk, and they'll have some soup and tea and coffee and cake. So I think that'll be really nice.
Sounds great. And it'll be your 35th day, right?
No, so the next one's our 35th. So that's on Tuesday the 4th. That's alongside the food bank. Our 36th will be Friday, April the 4th.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so we're busy sort of trying to make that a really special one.
So how are you going to make it special?
I'm just looking at, sale banners so that we can advertise it from the road. I've asked, so Dentaid weren't due to come, but I've asked if they can come to that one. We've got the mayor, I hope, provisionally we booked the mayor to come. I've approached a pizza company, just to make it more fun and things.
Sounds great.
Should be good. But obviously we will probably lose a few clients, but gain, anything you start new, it takes a while. At the next Wellbeing, we'll tell people, do come along on Friday, and there will be this and there will be that. And that's also when we moved back to Queen Mary Hall. Did you know there was a fire there?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, there was a fire in August. So
oh, wow.
The food bank moved into St. Peter's Church, and our Wellbeing is in the building next door in the grounds there. It's a nice feeling there, but it'd be nice to also move back.
And do you think that over the past year, the community needs have changed at all, or how you're addressing it as a charity?
I think the needs are probably greater. I think the impact of inflation and energy costs and travel and food are increased. And it's quite sad to hear the stories. I think we do have older clients, and when the winter fuel allowance, that hit a lot. And although that was only £400 or something, in their head, it meant they couldn't heat. They couldn't heat homes anymore.
Yeah.
So that was really worrying. So we did have some meetings with other people in the council to help identify the people who should be claiming pension credit, which is the only thing you need in order to get the winter fuel allowance. So we did that. But, we have the Kingston Council Financial Inclusion team come to the event, and they've been very good at giving a one-off payment to help the people. They look into what they could be claiming. So actually some of them might even be better off because the fuel allowance went. The income cut off and the savings are very specific for the winter fuel allowance. So we have been able to help some with that. And that was really good. We've also now got a barber who comes, and that's really good. Although they don't cut women's hair very much, which is a shame. It's just nice that these other people from the community are coming to say, well, yeah, I can do that. But there'll be more room inside when we move back to the Friday. So it might be something if we can try and find someone to do women's hair. Because, we do a survey with the clients in the queue to sort of, what else would you like to see? Women's haircut comes up a lot. And also things like hand massage.
Oh, wow.
A therapy. And Kingston College have a beauty department. So we've just written to them saying, what about coming along and doing, it's good training for the students. So it's good having the survey to listen to what they would like. And, there's one gentleman who's been coming since we've been doing it, and he goes to see the doctor every time he's there and he's still quite big, but he's lost 2.5 stone.
That's good.
It's really good. He now walks to Bushy Park every day. We got him a bike, he then cycles. We got him a laptop, and he has learnt to do emails. It's opened up a different world. He's learnt things he didn't know, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
So he did a We Are Digital course, and he's had a phone from us. So someone like that, the benefit to someone like that, it's in multiple parts of his life. But then the sewing ladies are as positive, making all the things, which is really nice.
Yeah, that was another question, actually, because as I said, the purpose of the London Optimist is to help people think more positive about life and what's happening around them. So I was wondering if you, as a community leader, how would you describe the local people of Kingston in terms of their attitude towards life?
I think we see a real mix. If I look at the volunteers who do the sewing, they find a solution to anything. We have a WhatsApp group, and if someone has a question or anything, all of the others will come in and they're all over it. Look at, oh, I found this. Oh, I can do that. It's really lovely. The people we meet at the food bank, on the whole, they're just so appreciative that someone's got the time to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think life is so busy and there's so many problems, and the news, as you said, is always bad.
Yeah.
So I love the first Tuesday of the month because I know that there'll be happy faces and people will talk to me. It's a lifeline for some of them. It's a privilege to be in that position where we can do that. And, the other group that we do a lot of work with is the refugees. And obviously they had a very difficult time in the riots in the summer. And I think a lot of fear. And just going and sitting and talking to them, that doesn't cost, you don't need to apply for a grant. You just need to just go and talk to people and listen to their stories, which are fascinating.
Yeah.
My husband always takes an hour off on the Tuesday to come and do the surveys. And he just finds it so grounding in his life to hear people's stories, or even the very sad stories of how they've come to be where they are, but also their reaction to someone listening to their story. And none of that really costs anything, does it? So I think the people in our society have a lot of hardship to deal with and problems and stresses. But just having people out there in the community, you then bump into them in the supermarket and it's another friendly voice.
Yeah.
It's lovely meeting all these people.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And in terms of your plans and goals for the next few years with your charity, what would you like to see?
I'd like to get more IT literate. Yes. So
what do you mean by that?
Well, I'm a doctor. I used to see patients, put a diagnosis in their notes and whatever. I didn't learn how to do spreadsheets or accounts or use OneDrive or any of that. So we muddle along on that side of things. So I think we need to sort of try and really focus on, we have all the policies and risk assessments that we need to run the things we're doing, but none of us can find them because they're there in an email. We need, to develop our sort of IT part of things, become more organised in that way. But that's just because we're not the sort of people who look, you young guys just type and do everything. But
that's
it's
like
all
a nature,
yeah, it's a learning curve for us. So we do need to do that. And just getting our work known in the community. So, telling people what we do so that they can come and join us. And, we might have enough volunteers to do what needs to be done, but all these people also just need someone to talk to, just to either vent or to discuss nice things. A lot of people who come to the Tuesday wellbeing, they only go out to the food bank once a week. They don't see other people. So having a friendly face, I think, is very important. Just being kind, making your neighbourhood a kinder place, especially when the news is so negative always. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I think I have only last question if you have a couple of more minutes, if that's all right. So this is quite a difficult one, but I would like to ask this all of the people I interview. So what would you say are your personal values and how do you see the purpose of life? I know it's difficult, but it doesn't have to be anything deep, just whatever comes to your mind.
Kindness is actually at the bottom of everything. And I think society would be a better place if we thought about other people's positions. I started this charity. I don't know if I told you, my nephew killed himself at the beginning of, just before COVID, literally sort of 2 weeks before lockdown or whatever.
No, I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
Yes, he was 19. Absolutely tragic. But the church was filled over 3 times with people outside. If he'd known that he was loved, he wouldn't have done that. And it's too late, and you think, there are people you meet and you can tell that they're struggling. Just go and say hello. You never know how lost someone is inside. I think we see that at our Tuesday group, and I think we see that in the refugees who've had, when you listen to their stories, or even delivering the stuff last night, it's really humbling to listen to what they've been through and that they've gained the strength to start again. What I want to do is reach the people for them to know that someone cares before it's too late. So you can't just wait for it to happen and respond. You have to see that group of people just need a friendly face. And that's not hard. It's not hard to just, if you're waiting for a train and there's someone looking really isolated, just, where are you going? How are you? Or just hello. You might be the only person they hear that day.
Yeah, you don't really think of that when you just are busy in your day, but it's really important to realize,
It really is. Just a smile even, and that's not going to take you time or money or anything. It's just acknowledge there's another human being who might be in an awful place. They might be absolutely fine, but just a smile and hello can make a big difference.
No, I think that's a really good point. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are all my questions. Thank you so much. It was amazing listening to you. Sorry, what did you want to say?
I'll send you the data that I got for that. Because it was really good, and it's that sort of thing that we as a charity find hard because we're just busy doing things or whatever, and we don't do that data gathering. We don't repeat where the quotes are. So like in the last week, I've been writing to everyone saying, oh, can you give me a quote about this? And that's where I think we just need to be more organised. Instead of being busy, we need some structure.
Yeah, okay. No, it will be definitely interesting to see how the numbers develop. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Kate, and good luck with everything you do.
Okay. Thanks, Scott. Take care.
Okay, have a lovely day.
Bye.
Bye.